Hello students. In the last video I had explained about the decision making statements. In that I had covered all the varieties of if, that is simple if else, multiple if else if ladder and nested if. In today's video we will see the programs related on these varieties of if. But before starting the programs, how to approach the program? So before that program starts, I would like to give you one suggestion. What should be your approach? As you know, your computer paper is having 100 marks and it has duration of 2 hours. Section A has 40 marks, section B has 60 marks. So my advice to you is divide these two parts, section A and section B. Try to attempt section A in 40 minutes and section B in 60 minutes, and try to save 20 minutes for revision. Out of 4 programs in section B that you are going to attempt, you should divide 60 minutes into 4 parts, that is 15 minutes for each program. It can be less or more depending on the problem, but it is my general division. So how should you approach? Spend 1 to 2 minutes for reading and understanding the question. One time question will not be clear to you, so my advice is to read the question at least 2 times. Next, spend about 1 to 2 minutes for deciding the number of variables which are required in the program, name of variables, and data types of variables. There are 2 types of variables, input variables and processing variables. So after reading the question 1 or 2 times, you will get idea how many values you need to take from the user, that is input variable, and for designing the logic which are extra variables required, that is processing variable. Next, spend about 2 to 4 minutes for thinking about the logic that is required to solve your problem. Now 5 to 7 minutes are required for writing the program code, and last 2 minutes should be used for writing the variable description, and it should be written at the end of each program. So starting with the first program, question is on the computer screen. Write a program to accept 3 sides of a triangle and check whether triangle is possible or not. If possible, then display whether it is equilateral, isosceles or scalene triangle. Otherwise, if triangle is not possible, then display a meaningful message. I have designed this program in my system, so I am going to open that code for you. This program I have designed with 2 methods. First method, if else if ladder is used, and in second method multiple if is used. Last time I had told you, in many programs or maximum programs you can use any of these 2 methods, either if else if ladder or multiple if. But in some cases it is compulsory to use ladder because multiple if can give wrong result. So in this question I will explain, if you use if else if ladder it will give correct result, and if you use multiple if it can give wrong result. So question is on the screen that you have seen already. So how to approach the program? Here what are the inputs required? It is mentioned here accept three sides of a triangle. So we need three variables to accept the sides. I have taken three variables a, b and c. That is double type. It is not compulsory, you can take int also. And I have designed this program with function argument. You can design it with scanner also and buffer reader also. So three inputs are required. Do we need any processing variable here? So after taking the input, we need to see whether processing variable is required or not. First we need to check whether triangle is possible or not. So for the possibility of triangle, we should know the condition, that is sum of two sides must be larger than third side. So when you take three sides a, b and c, sum of any two sides, it can be any combination a with b, b with c or c with a. So we need to check all the combinations for the possibility. So program here, class name is triangle with ladder. Input I have told you. So after taking the input, first we will display a message what side we have taken. So print the value of a, b and c. After that your logic will start. First we need to check whether triangle is possible or not. So for the possibility of triangle, this is the condition. If sum of any two sides is more than third side, not any two sides, sum of all combination we have to check. So in first case I have checked combination of a and b, it should be more than c. AND operator is used. Combination of b and c must be more than third side, that is a, and c plus a must be more than b. If this condition satisfies, only then triangle is possible. After that you can see if block is used here. It is from here to here. So when condition will be true, it means when triangle will be possible, only then it will enter inside the block. If triangle is not possible, for that I have designed else part here. In else part we will simply display a message, triangle is not possible. So in this program I have used nested if, and you can see here nesting is done inside the if part. See, this is nesting, and this nesting is done in the outer if, and in the else part we have a single statement. So this is the example of nested if, in which nesting is done inside the body of if. So starting with the logic, when the triangle will be possible, then it will enter inside the block. So first we will display a message here, triangle is possible. After that we need to check it belongs to which variety. So there are three possibilities of triangle: equilateral, isosceles and scalene. For equilateral, all sides must be equal. So if a equal to b and b equal to c, so automatically c will be equal to a. You can write here c equal to a, or you can leave that also, because when a is equal to b, b is equal to c. then automatically C will be equal to A. So when this condition satisfies, then body of first if will run. In that body we will display a message, it is equilateral triangle. This code is designed with if-else-if ladder. So once the body of first if runs, then the rest part of the ladder, means from here to here, it will become bypassed or cancelled. So we will get only one message, that is equilateral triangle. Suppose we enter three sides, that is 4, 4 and 4. So in that case we will get only one message, equilateral triangle, and rest part will become cancel. Suppose we enter sides 4, 5 and 5. So in first case 4 equal to 5, it is not. So control will go to else part. So this statement will not run. Now in the else part we have one more if. It will check any one pair of two sides is equal or not. So our input is 4, 5, 5. In that case 4 equal to 5, that is false. 5 equal to 5, that is true, and 4 equal to 5, that is false. So out of these three inputs, one input is true, that is the middle one. Here logical OR operator is used. So in case of logical OR, if any one condition is true, then result will become true. So in this case, because of B is equal to C, if will become true, then it will show the message, it is isosceles triangle, and after that rest part of the ladder will become cancel. It means scalan will not print. Now third scenario, suppose we enter three sides 4, 5 and 6. In that case, first if cancel, then it will go to else part. In else part another if, second if is also cancelled. Now the last one with 4, 5, 6. 4 not equal to 5, that is true. 5 not equal to 6, that is also true. And 6 not equal to 8, that is also true. So with AND condition, all the three values are true. So final result will become true. So we will get this message, it is a scalar triangle. In the last case, we can use one more option here. If we write simply else, then also we will get the same message, it is scalar triangle. I have used comment here. So else is possible here, you can use it. Now we will see the result of this code. So I had used comment in the beginning that I had erased. So let me correct it. Okay. Now we will see the result. First I am entering all the sides equal, that is 4, 4 and 4. Now you can see the result here with 4, 4 and 4. It is equilateral triangle, so result is okay. Now second scenario, when we enter two sides equal, that is 4, 5 and 5. In that case you can see it is showing isosceles triangle, that is also correct. Now third variety, when we have all three sides different. So I am entering 4, 5 and 6. It is showing here scalene triangle. So when triangle is possible, it is showing all the three categories. One more scenario, if suppose triangle is not possible, the input is not correct. Like here, I am entering 4, 5 and 9. So sum of first two sides 4 plus 5, it is not more than third side, that is 9. It means triangle is not possible. So in that case you can see it is showing triangle is not possible. So our program code is working properly. So that code I have shown you. Now see how to write the variable description for this program. This is the method of writing the variable description. First you write a heading variable description for our program. You need to make 3 columns. First column variable name, then second column data type, third column purpose. Here whatever variable are used, we have used 3 variables. So A, B, C all have same type, that is double. In case of variables to take input, we should start with to accept. So A was to accept first side, B was to accept second side, and C for accepting third side. So this is the correct method of writing variable description. Output I have already shown you. Now we will see the second program. If we design the same program with multiple if, then it will give wrong result. See, program is same. What I have done here, up to here it is same. After that, instead of else if, only if is written, and here also only if is written. So in that case we will see whether it is working or not working. Suppose we enter all three sides same, that is 4, 4 and 4. So first outer if will satisfy 4 plus 4 is more than 4, that is 8 is more than 4. In the same way all these three conditions will become true, and with AND operator the final result will become true. So it will go inside the block. First it will show a message triangle is possible. Now when you enter 4, 4, 4, first if will become true, 4 equal to 4 and 4 equal to 4. So we will get this message. It is equilateral triangle. But you know that in case of multiple if, whether the if condition is true or false, this concept will check all the varieties of if. We have seen first condition is true, then also it will go to check second if condition. So here you can see when we enter 4, 4, 4, second if will also satisfy 4 equal to 4 or 4 equal to 4 or 4 equal to 4. So here we can see both the if conditions will satisfy. It means both the body will run. So in the result we will get it is equilateral triangle, and this result also we will get it is isosceles triangle. So you can imagine yourself how a triangle can become equilateral as well as isosceles. It means it is showing the wrong result. Now see the output of this code. Four, 4 and 4. With ladder it was showing the correct result, but here you can see. See the last two lines here. It is equilateral triangle, it is isosceles triangle. So it is showing wrong result. But for other inputs, when we enter 455, it is working properly. And when we enter 456, here also it is giving correct result, that is scalene triangle. One more scenario, when we enter invalid value, that is 4, 5 and 9. So triangle is not possible. So out of 4 scenario, in 3 scenario it is working, but in one scenario when we enter all sides same, then it gives wrong result. I think you would have seen the difference between multiple if and if else if ladder. So in this program, if else if ladder is suitable here. Now we will see the next program. Question number 2. To foster a sense of water conservation, the Water Department has an annual water conservation tax policy. The rates are based on the water consumption of the consumer. Tax rates are given below. Slab is given how the tax will be calculated. When water is consumed up to 45 gallon, then no tax. It means tax is 0. Let me explain what is gallon. In 1 gallon we have about 4.5 liters. So this program is to accept water consumption in gallon and calculate how much tax will be applicable. Up to 45 means 45 is covered here, but 46 is not covered. So when user enters 46, it will go to second slab. More than 45 but 75 or less. It means it will cover 46 to 75. 75 is included, but 45 is not included. In that case, tax rate is given 475 rupees. But remember, this tax rate is applicable for per 100 gallon. So 475 rupees is for 100 gallons. Suppose user enters 46 here. It will go to second slab. So 46 we will not multiply with 475 because 475 is the rate for 100 gallon. So first we need to find the rate for 1 gallon. It means 475 divided by 100. Then we will get the cost of 1 gallon. With that value we will multiply whatever we have input. So if the input is 46, then the logic here is 46 into 475 divided by 100. In the same way, third slab, it is for more than 75 up to 125. It means it will cover 76 to 125. Similarly, next slab 145 to 200, more than 200 to 350, then more than 350. So different slabs we have and different rates we have. Now see the last line of the program. In the beginning I had told you should spend about 1 to 2 minutes because this question is long, so you need 2 minutes to read the question properly. Read it at least 2 times. So what we should do here, write a program in Java to compute and display annual water tax based on the input value of water consumption. So what input variables are required here? We need to accept water consumption done by the user, and that is annual water consumption. So accordingly we will give a message like enter water consumed in gallon per year. So one variable we need to accept the water consumption. Then we need to calculate the tax. So one variable for calculating tax. Now we need to see what is the data type suitable. For accepting the water consumption, you can see here all values are given in integer. So we can decide int or double, no problem. And for tax also all values are given in round figures, no point is there. For both cases we can take int or double. Now see the code I have designed in my system. Question I have already shown you. Comment I have used, so that is why it is not visible. Now you can see question is same that you have seen just now. Now let us design it. So start the program with import statement. Why it is required? When we design the program with scanner class, then it is must for you to import the UTIL package in the beginning of the program. Reason is, for scanner class we need to create a scanner object. You can see the highlighted line here. Scanner z equal to new scanner system.in. Here z is the name of the scanner object. If you don't import this package in your program in the beginning, then this scanner class cannot be used. I will show it to you here. Now see, you can see class compiled, no error. Suppose I remove this line. Comment I have used in the beginning, it means import is not used. If we compile it again, now see the error, cannot find symbol class scanner. Scanner class is the part of UTIL package. So whenever you use scanner class, it is compulsory for you to import the package. So this is the reason it is compulsory. So import, then class name, method name. Now input, this is the variable to take water consumption, integer type, tax I have taken double type. Now you can see I have stored 0 here. Sometimes when you don't store 0, see here I have removed 0. If we compile it again, you can see here it is showing the error. Variable text might not have been initialized. So why this message appears? Reason is that whenever you store the value in the variable tax, that depends on if condition. Tax will store 0 when this condition will satisfy. Tax will store this, the result of this statement. It also depends on above if condition. So in all the if, you can see tax depends on a if condition. So whenever you update a variable that depends on a if condition, in that case that variable should be initialized with 0. So it is compulsory to write here 0. Now with 0 it will compile. So two variables declared, scanner object created. Now give a message here what we need from the user. Enter water consumption per year in gallon. Clear message is given here. Before taking input, whenever you design the program with scanner class or buffer reader, message should be displayed first before taking input. So when you run this program, this line will appear on the terminal window. So by reading the message, user will be clear that computer is asking a value. So that whatever value you enter, where we have to store that, we have decided a variable input. Since input variable belongs to int type, so first we will write the variable input equal to, from where we have got this z, it is scanner object. Whatever object name you decide for scanner class, same name we will use here. Dot next int is used for taking integer value. So after taking the input, now the logic. User can input here negative value also. You know that water consumption cannot be negative, but water consumption can be 0. 0 is possible because suppose a person leaves his house for 1 year. He is out of his house with family for 1 year, and after 1 year when he is coming, it means water consumption for that person will be 0. So 0 is possible, negative is not possible. So first I have designed a slab to avoid the users to enter negative value or wrong input. So if input is greater than or equal to 0, only then it will go inside the body of if. If user enters negative value, then if block will become cancel, then it will go to else part, and in the else part you can see we have only one message, that is invalid input. So here also I have designed the program with nested if. Here nesting is done in the body of if. So first slab was up to 45, no tax. So if input is less than or equal to 45, tax will be 0. Second slab was more than 45 up to 75. There are two methods to write the if condition. You can use multiple if or you can use if else if ladder. Whenever you use multiple if, then you need to write starting value and last value for that slab. Second slab was for more than 45 and it was up to 75. So starting value is more than 45, input greater than 45, and upper value is up to 75, since 75 is covered here, so here we need to write equal here sign. So one method, when you design with multiple if, include both the limits, lower limit and upper limit. But if you design the same code with if else if ladder, comment I have used here, in that case you can write it else if, and in bracket you need to cover only the upper limit. Reason is that suppose user enters here 46. So first if will become fail, then it will go to else part. Going to else part, it is understood that value is more than 45. It means lower limit cannot be written because computer will understood it automatically that it is more than 45. But up to which value we have to stop it in this slab, that is up to 75. So upper limit we will write input less than or equal to 75. So there are two methods. In that case, x equal to 475.0 divided by 100. It will calculate the cost of 1 gallon. Since 475 was for 100 gallons, so first we need to find the cost of 1 gallon, then multiply with whatever input we have taken. So if we take 46, then 475 by 100 into 46. So whatever will be the value, that will be stored in tax. Similarly, next slab we will design, that is more than 75 and up to 125. And if you design with if else if ladder, then we need to cover only the upper limit, that is else if input less than or equal to 125. In the same way, 750 by 100, it will calculate cost of 1 gallon, that will be multiplied with input taken by user. So whatever slabs are given, in the same way we will design all the slabs. For the last slab, if you design with multiple if, then we need to write if input more than 350. But if you design with if else if ladder, then only last else is enough. When all if conditions will fail, then last else will definitely run in case of ladder. Suppose user has entered 351. In that case, all the initial ifs will become cancelled and control will go to last else. So in that case, this statement will execute, and after calculation, whatever slabs are designed, only one of them will execute because it is designed in such a way. Then printing will be done in the body of it if itself. We will display a message water tax equal to, it is in double quotes, so it will flash as it is, water tax equal to, it will print on the terminal window, and after equal to, the value stored in variable tax will be displayed. And when the else will run, whenever user will enter negative value, then control will go to last else to display the message invalid input. Now we will see the result of this program code. First I am showing a negative value, suppose -1. Now you can see it is going to last else. that is the previous program. See, for -1, only the last line is running, that is invalid input. First slab was for up to 45. When we enter 0, then also it will satisfy, so water tax is 0. For 45, again 0. But when we enter more than 45, that is 46, in that case it has calculated some tax. Second slab was for 45 to, let us see what was the slab, 45 to 75. Third slab was more than 75. Program is already running here. Suppose we enter here 76. So like this it will work. Suppose we enter 400. For 400 it is calculating 8000. See what was the last slab. Last slab for more than 350, tax rate is 2000. 2000 for 100 gallon. So 2000 divided by 100, we will get 20, and 20 is multiplied with 400. That is why it will give 8000. Now see how to write the variable description for this program code. Here only two variables are used. Integer type value, that is input. Double type value, that is tax. So by input we have taken, that is input variable, to accept water consumption per year in gallon. And second one is processing variable. For processing variable you can write to store, calculate or compute. Any one can be written. Let us see one more program. A hotel has following special rates for stay depending upon number of days. For first 3 days, hotel is charging 350 rupees per day. For next 3, 300 per day. For next 3, 275 per day. Any day beyond 9 days, that is 225 rupees per day. So whenever you get the slab like this, next 3, see the meaning of this. Suppose you stay in a hotel for 3 days, then your bill will be 350 into 3, that is 1050. But when you stay there for 4 days, calculation will be done differently. For first 3 days they will charge 350 rupees. So 350 into 3, that is 1050. And for one extra day will come in second slab, that is fourth day. For fourth day they will charge 300 rupees. So 1050 and 300, 1350 will be your bill. Suppose you stay in hotel for 7 days. So for first 3 days 3 into 350, next 3 into 300, so 6 days over. And for one more extra day, that is seventh day, they will charge 275 rupees. So in this way we have to calculate. So this slab is given how the bill will be calculated by the hotel. Now the question is, write a program to input name of person, number of days stayed, room number allotted, check-in date, check-out date, calculate check-out bill amount, print name of person, number of days stayed, room number, check-in date, check-out date, and total amount to be paid by the person in the following format. This question is long, so you need to read it 2 or 3 times. First, the slab is given here. That will help you to calculate the bill. Now, how many variables are required? So when you read this question again, see the first line here. Input name of person. So name of person can be string type. Number of days stayed in hotel, that can be integer type. Room number allotted can be integer type. Check-in date means the date of booking the hotel. Check-out date means the date of leaving the hotel. So how to store the date? As you know, the date is stored with the combination of hyphen, slash, digits or column. So string is suitable for storing check-in date and check-out date. Check-out bill amount can be integer or double. After that, printing the details, and format is given here. See what is the format. First we need to print the name of the hotel in the middle of the screen. XYZ International Hotel. From next line, name of the person, check-in date, check-out date, number of days stayed, amount to be paid. Now see the program. Question you have seen already. So directly we will come to the coding. Import the package, class name, method name. Here scanner object I have created in. Now the variables to store the name of the person, that is name. Date 1 is for check-in date, date 2 is for check-out date. So all these three are belonging to string type. ND is for number of days stayed, RN for room number. Try to use short variable name but meaningful name, because when you have many variables then you will get confused which variable is used for which purpose. Now AMT, amount to store the bill. So first we need input. Whenever you design a program for taking input, first you should accept string value, then numeric value, then character value. Forget about the question in which order it is mentioned in the question to take the input. Always accept string value first, then numeric value, then character. So first message is for enter your name. Next line, we have designed variable name for storing that. In is the scanner object here. Next line is the function to accept string value. Similarly, enter check-in date, again date 1. Next line function checkout date will be stored in date 2. Then enter number of days stayed. For that we have decided a variable nd, number of days. Since it belongs to int type, so next it function is used here. Then room number, rn, again integer type, so next int is used. So after taking all the inputs, then we will start the condition for checking the validity whether input is correct or not. If nd is greater than 0, whenever you go to a hotel, what is the validity of number of days? You cannot stay in a hotel for 0 days or negative days. So your valid input is positive number of days. So if number of days is positive, that is more than 0, only then it will go inside the body of if. Suppose anybody enters 0 here or negative value for nd, then it will not go to a block, it will directly go to else part. In else part we will simply display a message wrong input. Now we will design the different slabs. When the value is valid, then first slab is for first 3 days. If nd is less than or equal to 3, then 350 rupees per day is the charge. So amount equal to 350 into nd. Suppose nd is 2, so AMT will store 350 into 2, that is 700. If nd is 3, then 350 into 3, that is 1050. Again I have designed this program code with both the methods. Multiple if is used on left side. Second option you have if else if ladder, that I had explained in the previous question. So any one can be used, but always remember when you design with multiple if, then include both the lower limit and upper limit for every slab, and for if else if ladder only cover the upper limit. Second slab was for next 3 days. After first 3, next 3 means it will cover 4, 5 and 6. It means when nd is more than 3 and nd is less than or equal to 6. So in this range 4, 5, 6 will come. Suppose nd is 4. So second if will satisfy, first if will become cancel. So for 4 days how it will calculate the bill? For first 3 days it will calculate 3 into 350, that is 1050. Now one more extra day we have nd minus 3. When nd is 4, so 4 minus 3 will become 1. It means one extra day is left. For 1 day 300 rupees is the charge. So 1050 here and 300 here, 1350 rupees. Similarly, third slab is next 3 means after 6 days over, next 3 means 7, 8 and 9. So ND is more than 6 and ND is less than or equal to 9. In that case, here we have to cover all the previous slab. Whenever in the program it is given next in the slab. First 3 into 350. Next 3 into 300. So 6 days over. And for the remaining days, that is, if the input is 7, then 6 days are over. So 7 minus 6, it means 1. For one extra day, it will calculate with 275 per day. Similarly, the last day, when the last value is more than 9, suppose 10 days. For 10 days, we need to cover all the slabs from the beginning. So first 3 days, 3 into 350, next 3 days, 3 into 300, 6 days over. Next 3 days, 3 into 275, 9 days over. One more day is left. So how computer will come to know what are the extra days? ND minus 9. So when ND is 10, 10 minus 9 will become 1. So for one day it will calculate with 225. So out of these 4 ifs, only one will run and the variable AMT will store the bill amount that is required. Then we need to print the result in the given format. See the format. In first line we need to print the name of the hotel in the beginning. In the middle. /t I have used in the beginning. /t is used for horizontal tab. 1/t is approximately equal to 6 to 7 spaces. So here I have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 4/t. Because we need to shift the text in the middle. So it will be approximately equal to 6 into 4, that is 25, 24 to 30 spaces it will leave from left side. So automatically this text will come in the middle of the screen. Now the next message. In the double quotes you can see I have used name, then space is given and double quotes. So whatever you write in double quotes, it will display as it is. After that, plus name. This name is value stored in the variable name. So in the same way we will print all the details. Now we will see the result. Name is entered here. Check-in date. Suppose April 14. Checkout date. (14/18). So how many days? I think 5 days. Number of days stayed, that is 5 days. For 5 days, what is the bill amount? For first 3 days, it will calculate with 350 per day. So 3 into 350 will become 1050. For next 2 days, it will calculate with 300 per day. So 2 into 300, that is 600. So when you add it, 1050 and 600. 1650 should be the result. Enter any room number. Now you can see here 1650 is the result. Result is in the same format that was given in the question. Name of the hotel is displayed in the in the middle. Then all the details are given as per the question. Like this, all the ifs will work. You can enter different values to verify whether program is giving correct result in every situation or not. Now how to write the variable description. Here many variables are used. On the left side, write all the names of the variables, that is name, date 1, date 2, ND, RN and AMT. First three belongs to string type. Number of days and room number belongs to integer type. AMT belongs to double type. For input variables, start with to accept. You can see in all the input variables, it has started with to accept. For processing variable, that is last one, you can write either store, calculate or compute. So today we have seen three types of programs. I hope it will become beneficial for you. So revise the programs, and next time I will make one more video with some more programs related with if, and next time we have to cover that switch case also. So till then, take care.